Okay, so I've done a little bit of Googling and some, checking for what was going on. I'm, old enough to be able to admit I don't know how I fixed it. Basically, I punched in a few codes here, and CD forward slash or backward slash, whichever one this is in fact the root directory. From the root directory, then, I tried to see if CD going into the C directory would help, and that took me somewhere. However, it was not somewhere I was expecting to show up. And then I kind of did a couple things where I went into the users, and I found my name there, and I was very excited because it was something familiar, and I know my name. So I did that, and I tried to get into that directory, but it pushed me out. Now, I'm going to show you something that I thought was odd, and I must confess I don't know how that changed. So notice here that there is a tilde after Ming W64. There is sort of a wavy squiggle. And then notice everywhere else there is actually a slash. So this slash exists here, and that takes you somewhere else. However, that somewhere else is not something that I had predicted. So this tilde over here, this slash sign here, is a different address. And then all of a sudden it goes into this squiggly line here, and that is taking me somewhere else. Now, admittedly, self-taught coder, so I don't know what this means. Somebody smarter than me probably knows what this means. So I'm going to try something else and just do CD slash. And now it is at slash. Now let's do list. Now it's at the same odd place as before. So let's try CD backward slash. That does nothing. CD slash again. Oddly, nothing else. Let's see what's in here. This is in here. And then, so you can see that this slash here has landed us in a precarious position where we are not quite confident we know where we are. So let's look at what we did before and try to do that again. So I was at bin, then I ended up in some odd place here. I did two of these. So let's go back to C. Let's see if C works. CD into C. C is sort of your standard directory. Aha. We are back into C now. What's in C? Now, these things are all familiar to me, but I don't know what the difference is between the forward slash and the tilde. So that's an interesting thing that I've not seen before. So terminal, difference between squiggly line and this. What is it? Terminal difference between these two things. These two things. What does, for example, username would expand into this. Slash. Root directory. When used at the beginning of a path, it represents the root directory of the entire file system hierarchy. Okay. This is a dynamic shortcut pointing to the current user's home directory. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what that means. What I do know is that I have to have this git bash oriented to the desktop. I need to, so basically, this is a version of the Windows File Explorer, and I need this thing to kind of be inside the folder that we just created, because that's the folder where we're going to do all of our work. So you don't want this to be in some generic root directory. You want to make sure that you control sort of what this pathway is here. So let's see if it's CD users, and once you do two letters, if you're looking at what you've got going on in the main screen and you do two letters, then hit tab, it should hit the right one without making an error. So now we're in users. Let's look at what we've got for users. Again, I am in. So let's go, okay, CDAMAN. I can spell my name. So now I'm back at the tilde, which I think means now I'm in my own user directory. So on your computer, now I'm in the user directory. However, when it just has that /, I think, let's see if we can back calculate this from this one. So when you're in the /, you know how you have this file explorer here. This, it says desktop, but if you go up a few and you go, okay, no, go back to your main computer. So where is your main computer? Home. I think it is my hypothesis, for no reason, that the / means that you're in this home directory, as opposed to me kind of wanting to be in, you know, this home directory is not the right one, but, you know, something like where's this documents? Basically, it's the pathway that's changing in some odd way. I clearly work on odd things, so don't mind my my desktop here. So basically, you want to go here into and personal, and then that will end up getting me into the desktop, which is where I had saved it. So as opposed to this one here, I don't know why the graphical one looks different than the terminal, but alas, there we are. So now if I hit list, I always hit list because I then know the number of errors I'm making. You know, and so then I'm like, okay, I've listed these things. I want it to be in desktop. So CDDES. So now I'm in desktop, list. And here now we can see this hello world exists because I made it graphically sort of using the file explorer. However, if you wanted to make a directory here, you can use the command mk for make, dir for directory, and then come up with a new one. Let's do test. So I've now made test directory. Now let's see if it was made. So there you can see it right there, the test directory was made. And now if you go back into this file explorer and you go onto the desktop, you should be able to see a directory called test right there. So you can navigate that way if you want to. There's a few different ways to do it, and you kind of want to do the one that is most easy for you. You know, some of this stuff that you're looking at, you should not think that you know what you're looking at. I just have an eclectic taste, and I work on different things. So we need to now go into not poetry, hello world. Okay, so CD hello and then world, and now I'm in the hello world directory. Now the reason this is important is because once we start coding, we have to download a whole bunch of things into our virtual environment. And that sounds like absolutely nothing right now to you. So what does that actually mean? So basically what I've done is I've said, okay, let's do this. Let's create a PowerPoint just so we can have something to kind of look at while we're chit-chatting about this stuff. Okay, so PowerPoint here. So basically now I've only set memory aside for what I'm doing. There's nothing else I've done. I've just said, listen, computer, you're not very smart in general, and this is how much computer memory you have. And now I need my own because you're not helping me, and I'm too smart. So now I'm setting more memory aside. So this is now my Node.js environment. And in this note, that this is a dynamic environment. It's not like you've specified how much of memory you're setting. That will be determined by how much memory you're using, which is RAM. So basically, now I've said, okay, in this partition or this virtual environment, I'm going to have to start to... Now this is just memory. It's not like this memory knows what the hell to do. It's just an idiot memory bank. or memory storage, like a temporary memory. So now you're like, okay, well, I need to be able to talk in Mongoose. I need to be able to like do weird stuff. Like we're gonna see a whole bunch of things. You're gonna have to be downloading what they call modules. Modules are similar to. So here you've got just the gear, but you gotta fasten that gear to something with like a rivet or a bolt or something like that. You gotta put all the support architecture around this rivet and everything like that. So how do you get all of that? You have to buy all of your parts. And instead of getting your parts together physically, we have to get our parts together digitally, virtually. So in order to do that, we are going to be using Git Bash to make sure that we're downloading all of that stuff in the same place. You don't want to be in the position where you are downloading everything on like the larger computer, because that then gets quite messy. In addition to that, you kind of want to download everything into one file, and then that is the file that you typically end up putting up on the website or putting up on the interweb, this fancy thing that was created for us that's completely torched right now. Okay, so now let's get into, here it is. We are in the lab again, and we've been able to get, what have we done? We got Node installed. We used the terminal to manually create this. Okay, so now I'm gonna pause this video, and I'm just gonna download. I'm gonna be doing this in steps so I don't lose a full video to bad audio. Okay, stop recording.